Hey, this is John Carlos, and I'm here with a look at the McFarlane Toys Movie Maniacs action figure of Ted Lasso, who is neither from a movie nor a maniac. One thing I am looking forward to about opening this up is it says it includes a collector's card, wit stand, and bonus item. And when I first read that online, I just thought the bonus item would be like a paper good. But there's a little, box in there. It's a little question marky thing, so I want to find out what's in there. I have a theory. I think what's gonna be in there, based on its size, is probably just gonna be like a little Green Army soldier, like from the show. There's a lot of plastic on this. I guess I just have to rip the card off from the cardboard. Oh. So here's the card and the mystery box, and I just dropped this little plate, which we'll get to in a moment, but let's find out what's in here. It is, ooh, an AFC Richmond sticker. That's pretty fun. This is my first McFarlane toy in a long time. I've been there since the beginning. I was a kid when the first Spawn action figures came out. I collected Movie Maniacs when they first came out, all through like the early 2000s. And then McFarlane started making a lot of like military figures and dragon figures and sports figures, and I just kind of dropped off. And in the last few years, they've been making more like articulated figures for DC. Which is interesting because when they first kind of started out, they were criticized for making quote-unquote action figures that had like one point of articulation and they were more like statues. And people were like, oh, these are statues, they're not action figures. And this is definitely the old formula. There is, as far as I can tell, no articulation. I thought there was one at the neck so that he could at least look in different directions, but I have tried to move his head to the point where I'm like, I think I'm going to break this. Like, it looks like there's a neck swivel, but this head is not moving. So it is a statue. However, I like this statue a lot. First of all, I really like what they did with his pose. It's a nice, it looks simple enough, but it is dynamic with the arm placement, him looking over. It has a nice presence on the tabletop. There's some good details to all around, the paint all around on the figure. The shoes are nice and cleanly painted, but all the little logo details on the tracksuit look really good, especially on the jacket, and the fact that even though it's like sculpted on, the whistle does look natural. Sometimes sculpted on elements that could be loose can look funny. This doesn't. Nice texture on the red. Again, logos look good. The ball in his hand looks good. One of the little things that I freaking love about this is he's holding biscuits with the boss. So this encompasses like different elements of Ted Lasso, right? Like soccer ball, check. Biscuits with the boss, check. So, you know, it's a nice kind of all-around, quote-unquote, like Ted Lasso figure. Not necessarily the character, but encompassing the show. The sculpt and paint on his hair looks really good. Just the little details on the visor look great. And then what I really like is the face. I don't know if they did a 3D scan of Jason Sudeikis, but it sure seems like it. Like his cheeks, his smile, his mustache, the overall like jawline reads really well. I'm not terribly fond of these sunglasses. I think this figure would look better without them because they look a little weird and cheesy to me in a way the rest of the face doesn't. But oh well. And then here on the base of the figure is the pitch with the with the Richmond Greyhound on it, and then the words Ted Lasso. One little tiny nitpick I'm calling up front is I feel like he's leaning forward, like right out of the box, right? So I feel like in a few months, or within a year or so, this figure is going to be going more and more that way. Certain angles doesn't read as much, but yeah, he looks a little Michael Jackson Smooth Criminal there, and I'm not looking forward to where this figure is going in the next few years. Now he comes with a few other thingies, which is nice. He comes with this backdrop, which is appreciated. I'll show you kind of a closer look. It's not a photograph from the show. It's just sort of like a basic kind of cartoony graphic, but it works. It does the trick. Also, we get this little stand with the Warner Bros. 100 logo, and this clips into this card, which also acts as a certificate of authenticity. This is blank out of 20,000. And with that being blank, what's the point of including that? I don't get it. But still, if you wedge this in here, this makes for a nice little display thingy. But if you're going to call something limited and you create a thing with a numbering system, write the number in there. I don't know. These are all nitpicks. I'm kind of being a dick here. I friggin' love this action figure / statue. I think Ted Lasso is one of the greatest shows ever made, in my opinion. If you follow me over on the Instagrams, you've probably seen just how much I love this show. I do wish he could either... I guess that's the best way for him. It'd be nice if I could pivot him on the stand, but no, he's just on there. I do wish I could articulate his head. I think this is the best direction for him to be looking in anyway, but he could look over that way and he might get a slightly different thing. In any case, also I should point out that the display thing has these little plastic things at the top and bottom that keep it kind of in a curved thing. So yeah, I can't even believe McFarlane made a Ted Lasso figure. Like, let's just talk about that for a second. They've been making so many like DC things in the last few years. They used to do so much horror stuff that for the WB 100, they've been making a few of these. They did a Harry Potter one. They did a Wicked Witch of the West. They did Zach Galifianakis, whatever his character's name was, in The Hangover. Really random stuff from Warner Brothers, celebrating their 100 years. And since the show, even though it airs on Apple TV Plus, is made by Warner Brothers, that's why this is included, because it's like a new, modern, instant classic. It's part of their legacy, so I get it. And I'm glad that we have that, because any merch from this show would be greatly appreciated. As a toy collector, it's one thing that they're like, oh, we're making a bunch of shirts and novelty things and stuff, but to actually have a collectible figure, this is great. This is absolutely great. Right now we've had a couple Funko Pops, like some exclusives, but something like this, if you're a fan and you like non-articulated statue-esque figures, super, super, super cool. I dig this a lot. Although I will point out that it is smaller than what McFarlane Toys used to be. Like, I used to collect the old, like, Freddy and Jason and all those Movie Maniacs that were horror before, like, they made a Shaft figure, and then Movie Maniacs didn't really mean anything anymore. It just meant movie stuff. But they were all, like, this feels like, if those were 7-inch scale, or maybe even 6-inch, this feels like, his body feels like 6-inch, but his head is so much smaller than what they used to be, just by a little bit. You can definitely tell this is not the same scale. I guarantee if you put this next to one of the like newer McFarlane DC movie figures, this guy would look little. I've nitpicked a bit, but I can't stress enough, this is super cool. I dig this a lot. Thanks for watching, everybody. Let me know in the comments below what you think of this figure. Do you have the same nitpicks I do? Do you love it the way I do? If you want to be up to date with all my latest reviews, be sure to click subscribe